Is Pip Brennan, and Pip is a first-time storyteller at Stories from the Heart, so we need to be extra kind to her and treat her very, very gently.
Laugh at all my jokes.
And laugh a lot. And I met Pip when she came to one of my workshops, and I'm delighted that she is sharing a story with us tonight. And her story is called, and you can all sing along if you like, Mamma Mia!
Thank you.
Give her a round of applause.
Thank you. So I was 31 by the time I moved to Greece. I'd been living in the UK for about 6 years, working in the museum sector. Still unmarried at 31. I know. I had me a bit of a midlife crisis, and I thought, I know, I'm going to go teach English as a foreign language and go and live on the continent. So I did my 4-week training course, 4 weeks for teaching. That should be about right, I thought. Yeah, no worries. I really wanted to go to Portugal, but Portugal didn't want me because I didn't have any experience. Greece, however, was quite happy. It did make me wonder if the education standards had slipped a little bit since Socrates' time, but anyway, I headed off. So first day on the job, and I had to go and meet the owner of the school. So I went into her office. She didn't really speak a lot of English, but hey, she had a very nice cigarette holder with a very nice cigarette. So she went, welcome. Now, her smile didn't really reach her eyes. In fact, there wasn't really a smile. In fact, she was kind of terrifying. And I felt a bit like I'd been turned to stone, so I used to always call her the Gorgon. The next person I met was one of the school secretaries. She was a fair bit nicer, you know. We had said hello to each other, and then she said to me, "How old you are?" And I thought, well, I'm not in the UK now. Obviously, it's okay to ask someone their age, you know, first opening conversation gambit. So I said, 31, and she said, "And where is your husband?" So I looked around, I said, "He was here a moment ago. He seems to have disappeared. Crazy." So we became friends after that. So I'm going to fast forward through that year, because the first year of teaching, just fast forward through that sucker and got to the end. And I decided I'd come back for a bit more punishment. So back to Greece I went for my second year. I thought, you know, I'd go to a different school where the school owners could speak English, that kind of thing, you know. But I did stay in touch with a lot of the teachers that I'd survived that first year. Anyway, sort of halfway through that next academic year, and I was off to a expat bar with an expat friend, as you do when you're an expat. So we walked in, and there was a chap sitting at the bar, and my friend said, "You'll like Elias. He's been to Australia." So it turned out I quite liked Elias, because 3 weeks later I was pregnant. Wasn't exactly in the plan, but anyway, sort of what with Greek timing and things, I didn't get round to sort of confirming the pregnancy till I was 3 months pregnant. So I told the horrified Elias, and he wasn't very excited about my pronouncement that I was going to have the baby anyway. So I thought the least I could do was go along to the obstetrician of his choice. So off we went to the obstetrician, and he was a little old school, popped me up in stirrups, went out, left the door open, you know. It was very patient-centred. So he came back in muttering, "There's not much time, there's not much time." But by then, luckily, my Greek was a bit better, and I said, "There's plenty of time, there's 6 months." And so by then I'd kind of worked out it wasn't really that shocking for a Greek woman to get pregnant out of wedlock. But a woman to proceed with the pregnancy, which had not been properly sanctioned by a man, that was crazy. But interestingly enough, the person that really said that I'd done the right thing was none other than the Gorgon. So I was there at my farewell party. By then I was 5 months pregnant. I'd finished out the academic year and I was ready to come back to Australia after 10 years away pregnant. Well, whatever. And one of the teachers came along and she said, well, you always called her the Gorgon. She said the Gorgon wanted to say, bon courage, you're doing the right thing. So I headed back to Australia with my little extra cargo on board, and 4 months later, on the exact day she was due, the only time she's ever been on time, my beautiful daughter Zoe was born. Now, for those of you that don't know, Zoe is the Greek word for life, and I looked into her beautiful little face and I knew it was the wisest, most foolish decision I'd ever made.